We are back, guys. We are back. We are back. Because I want to read a paper. I want to read a paper today. A paper that is... Where is it? Where is my paper? My paper. So what is the story behind this paper? This paper, Diego sent it to me. And that's it. I want to read it. It's about recommender system and stuff. Is it this? Collaborative filtering for implicit feedback data. Yeah, it was about implicit and explicit. So what is implicit? What is explicit? Implicit is like you see users' behavior on platform and then start taking it as a feedback. And explicit is when the user leaves a feedback himself. For example, he likes a video, or for example, the rating on Amazon, the star rating on Amazon. The good thing about implicit is that every user has a behavior on platform, so we have more data, but it is more noisy. Just because a user watched a video doesn't mean that he liked that video, right? It may mean that he doesn't like that video. So we don't know what is his feeling about the experience. About the explicit one, not a lot of users leave feedback, but exactly. Once we have them, it is very obvious. Okay, I like this video. Unless a user just wants to fuck with the platform and lie to the platform. I always do. Not always, but sometimes do. Sometimes I feel my feed gets boring or repetitive when I am watching same content a lot. I start to say, I'm not interested, give me something new. Yeah, that's this paper. Let's read it, guys. I say, without any collaborative filtering for implicit feedback data. Diego. Okay, and how do we want to read it? First of all, let's check if they have a YouTube video about it. We have a video actually.
그 추천 시스템 논문 읽기 파트의 박종익이라고 합니다. 제가 읽은 논문은 Collaborative Filtering for Implicit Feedback Datasets라는 논문인데요. 이 논문은 이거는 지난 저희 추천 시스템 논문 읽기 파트에서 소개드렸던 매트릭스 팩토라이제이션의 저자.
Yeah, it is actually the same paper, but
저자들.
To get started in data analytics, you don't need previous experience or a degree. The Google Data Analytics Certificate will teach you to code in R, to code in SQL.
네, 저자들이 올해 1년 전에 먼저 제출한 논문으로 추정이 됩니다. 그래서 이 논문의 요점은 명시적인 데이터가 아닌 그 암시적인 데이터를 활용하더라도 추천 시스템을 구형할 수 있다라는 게 주제인 것 같습니다.
oh, it's in
그
Chinese.
명시적이란 뜻과 암시적이란 뜻은
So
뒤에
we don't have it in English. Let's use Speechify. How does it look, guys? Speechify. Oh, I have an account to log in. Where is the login? I want to log. Okay. Upload. Okay, upload. Desktop. Thesis. What? Oh.
Collaborative filtering for implicit feedback datasets. UFANHU AT&T
I got
Labs.
headache, guys.
Research.
I got headache. Oh, it's AT&T Lab, Yahoo, and AT&T Lab. Well, that's a good paper actually, right? That's a good paper when all of the people are in industry. And okay, two more. Okay, let's go. Let's bring you in. Can we have a human being? All of them are taken.
Florham Park, New Jersey, 07932. Yehuda Koren Yahoo Research Haifa 31905, Israel. Chris Valinsky, AT&T Labs, Research Florham Park, New Jersey, 07932. 1. Introduction. Abstract. A common task of recommender systems is to improve customer experience through personalized recommendations based on prior implicit feedback. These systems passively track different sorts of user behavior, such as purchase history, watching habits, and browsing activity, in order to model user preferences. Unlike the much more extensively researched explicit feedback, we do not have any direct input from the users regarding their preferences. In particular, we lack substantial evidence on which products consumer dislike. In this work we identify unique properties of implicit feedback datasets. We propose treating the data as indication of positive and negative preference associated with vastly varying confidence levels. This leads to a factor model which is especially tailored for implicit feedback recommenders. We also suggest a scalable optimization procedure, which scales linearly with the data size. The algorithm is used successfully within a recommender system for television shows. It compares favorably with well-tuned implementations of other known methods. In addition, we offer a novel way to give explanations to recommendations given by this factor model. As e-commerce is growing in popularity, an important challenge is helping customers sort through a large variety of offered products to easily find the ones they will enjoy the most. One of the tools that address this challenge is recommender systems, which are attracting a lot of attention recently. 1, 4, 12. These systems provide users with personalized recommendations for products or services, which hopefully suit their unique taste and needs. The technology behind those systems is based on profiling users and products, and finding how to relate them. Broadly speaking, recommender systems are based on two different strategies, or combinations thereof. The Con-Dash. Work done while author was at AT&T Labs, Research. Tent-based approach creates a profile for each user or product to characterize its nature. As an example, a movie profile could include attributes regarding its genre, the participating actors, its box office popularity, etc. User profiles might include demographic information or answers to a suitable questionnaire. The resulting profiles allow programs to associate users with matching products. However, content-based strategies require gathering external information that might not be available or easy to collect. An alternative strategy, our focus in this work, relies only on past user behavior without
You know what will be good about Speechify is that you open your PDF and it reads it right there. I don't like it. I mean, I don't think that's so difficult. Should be an app that is can be activated on another app. Well, he doesn't have this paper. Look at his citation. 15,000. Chair massage. Perfecto. Ah, look at this. This guy is all about recommender system. That's a good person to track his works. Who is the other guy? Oh, okay, actually. Ooh, look at this guy. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, he's just up to 2017. He got lost after this paper. He won the Netflix prize. Dude, these two are really good. What happened to him? He died? Like 2017 and then nothing?
Requiring the creation of explicit profiles. This approach is known as collaborative filtering, CF, a term coined by the developers of the first recommender system, Tapestry 8. CF analyzes relationships between users and interdependencies among products, in order to identify new user item associations. For example, some CF systems identify pairs of items that tend to be rated similarly or like-minded users with similar history of rating or purchasing to deduce an alternative strategy. Our focus in this work relies only on past user behavior without requiring the creation of explicit profiles. This approach is known as collaborative filtering, CF, a term coined.
So collaborative filtering is considering users' behavior in the past and making implicit decisions based on that.
By the developers of the first recommender system, Tapestry 8. CF analyzes relationships between users and interdependencies among products, in order to identify new user item associations. For example, some CF systems identify pairs of items that tend to be rated similarly or like-minded users with similar history of rating or purchasing to deduce unknown relationships between users and items. The only required information is the past behavior of users, which might be their previous transactions or the way they rate products. A major appeal of CF is that it is domain-free, yet it can address aspects of the data that are often elusive and very difficult to profile using content-based techniques. While generally being more accurate than content-based techniques, CF suffers from the cold start problem, due to its inability to address products new to the...
So what is cold start? Cold start is that you don't have, like at the beginning when a user starts using a data or a product, you put it on the platform for the first time, you don't have any experiment about it from the past, right? You don't have any history of interaction of users or product. Therefore, you don't have data, you can't implement CF. It's like more of a exploration phase that you have to just test and try it and trial and error find out. You need to make history. Once there is no history, you have to make history. Wow, yes, that's nice. That should be the title of this video. Collaborative filtering. Okay.
System, for which content-based approaches would be adequate. Recommender systems rely on different types of input. Most convenient is the high-quality explicit feedback, which includes explicit input by users regarding their interest in products. For example, Netflix collects star ratings for movies and TiVo users indicate their preferences for TV shows by hitting thumbs up/down buttons. However, explicit feedback is not always available. Thus, recommenders can infer user preferences from the more abundant implicit feedback, which indirectly reflect opinion through observing user behavior. 14. Types of implicit feedback include purchase history, browsing history, search patterns, or even mouse movements. For example, a user...
They have our mouse movement. That's crazy. Mouse movement, like... What?
That per dash. Chased many books by the same author probably likes that author. The vast majority of the literature in the field is focused on processing explicit feedback, probably thanks to the convenience of using this kind of pure information. However, in many practical situations recommender systems need to be centered on implicit feedback. This may reflect reluctance of users to rate products, or limitations of the system that is unable to collect explicit feedback. In an implicit model, once the user gives approval to collect usage data, no additional explicit feedback, e.g. ratings, is required on the user's part. This work conducts an exploration into algorithms specifically suitable for processing implicit feedback. It reflects some of the major lessons and developments that were achieved while we built a TV show's recommender engine. Our setup prevents us from actively gathering explicit feedback from users, so the system was solely based on implicit feedback, analyzing watching habits of anonymized users. It is crucial to identify the unique characteristics of implicit feedback, which prevent the direct use of algorithms that were designed with explicit feedback in mind. In the following we list the prime characteristics. 1. No negative feedback. By observing the user's behavior, we can infer which items they probably like and thus chose to consume. However, it is hard to reliably infer which items a user did not like. For example, a user that did not watch a certain show might have done so because she dislikes the show or just because she did not know about the show or was not available to watch it. This fundamental asymmetry does not exist in explicit feedback where users tell us both what they like and what they dislike. It has several implications. For example, explicit recommenders tend to focus on the gathered information, those user item pairs that we know their ratings, which provide a balanced picture on the user preference. Thus, the remaining user item relationships, which typically constitute the vast majority of the data, are treated as missing data and are omitted from the analysis. This is impossible with implicit feedback, as concentrating only on the gathered feedback will leave us with the positive feedback, greatly misrepresenting the full user profile. Hence, it is crucial to address also the missing data, which is where most negative feedback is expected to be found. Too implicit feedback is inherently noisy. While we passively track the user's behavior, we can only guess their preferences and true motives. For example, we may view purchase behavior for an individual, but this does not necessarily indicate a positive view of the product. The item may have been purchased as a gift, or perhaps the user was disappointed with the product. We may view that a television is on a particular channel at a particular time, but the viewer might be asleep. 3. The numerical value of explicit feedback indicates preference, whereas the numerical value of implicit feedback indicates confidence. Systems based on explicit feedback let the user express their level of preference, e.g. a star rating between 1, totally dislike, and
what was that? Viewer might be in sleep. The other one, numerical value of implicit feedback. That's an interesting thing. What is it? Numerical value of explicit feedback reveals preference. Yes. Numerical value of implicit feedback reveals confidence. Confidence in what? Confidence. Systems based on explicit feedback let users express their level of preference. On the other hand, numerical values of implicit feedback describe the frequency of actions, how much time the user watched a certain show. How is that about confidence?
5. Really like. On the other hand, numerical values of implicit feedback describe the frequency of actions, example how much time the user watched a certain show, how frequently a user is buying a certain item, etc. A larger value is not indicating a higher preference. For example, the most loved show may be a movie that the user will watch only once, while there is a series that the user quite likes and thus is watching every week. However, the numerical value of the feedback is definitely useful, as it tells us about the confidence that we have in a certain observation. A one-time event might be caused by various reasons.
Guys, I have a headache. I have a headache! Damn, I want to sleep. I think it's just because AC made it so cold here. Let me turn it up. I mean, I don't know if this paper is directly, well, it is about recommender systems, and it can gives us a good setup, basic, but I don't know if it is really about competition among firms. Which is better if it is not? Because we can then write a paper about it.
That have nothing to do with user preferences. However, a recurring event is more likely to reflect the user opinion. For evaluation of implicit feedback, recommender requires appropriate measures. In the traditional setting where a user is specifying a numeric score, there are clear metrics such as mean squared error to measure success in prediction. However, with implicit models we have to take into account availability of the item, competition for the item with other items, and repeat feedback. For example, if we gather data on television
Oh, you
viewing,
said competition, huh? Evaluation of implicit feedback. Recommender requires appropriate measures. In the traditional setting where a user is specifying a numeric score, there are clear metrics such as mean squared error or to measure success in prediction. However, with implicit models, we have to take into account availability of the item, competition for the item with other items, that's important, and repeated feedback. For example, if we gather data on television viewing, it is unclear how to evaluate a show that has been watched more than once, or how to compare. Yes, that's right. Yeah, right, like if you watch a show for 10 times, 11th time you have less interest in watching. It is so interesting, human beings, like we like something and then we exploit it, and if we exploit it, we kind of get bored of it and we want to try something new. Well, that makes sense. But my problem is that if we want to model it in a like utility function, utility functions I think we had some stuff about it, like the quantity. The utility function can be a like concave a function of quantity. Usually we assume that it's increasing in quantity, but it can also be decreasing after a while. So it's not a big problem.
It is unclear how to evaluate a show that has been watched more than once, or how to compare two shows that are on at the same time, and hence cannot both be watched by the user.
What was the second example? Second example says somebody just keeps two TV on. Oh, okay. It's about TV. It's not about like these platforms that you can choose. Well, it is obvious, but okay, it says like there are two shows at the same time, and user has to pick one. Well, whatever he picks, probably he likes it. Probably, right? He likes it more. But yeah, that's also true that we know that he picked this one. He didn't leave any explicit feedback. And because he picked this one, it means that he couldn't pick the other one. So we don't have any implicit feedback for the other one. That's, I think, what he's trying to say. Okay, let's go get the preliminaries because it's about the foundation, right?
2 preliminaries. We reserve special indexing letters for distinguishing users from items, for users U, V, and for items E, J. The input data associate users and items through RUI values, which we henceforth call observations. For
Okay.
explicit feedback data sets, those
So users are U and V. So we have users, they are U and V, and we have products or items. Users starts with U, items starts with I and J, right? And what is RU? RUI was the rating of user I for product, user U for product I. Yes, RUI for explicit okay. We reserve special indexing for items I and J. The input data associate users and items through RUI. Not ROI, RUI. Values return under investment. That can be a good title for a video. Values, which henceforth, why am I so distracted? Which we henceforth call observations. So we call RUI observations. For explicit feedback datasets, RUI is the preference. Those values would be ratings that indicate the preference by user U of item I. Perfecto. Like in the model, the dynamic model I had, we also used R for the review the user's leave on the, where high value means stronger preference. For implicit feedback dataset, those values would indicate observation for users' actions. Implicit feedback dataset. Like the hour they spent on the app, on the item. Okay, observation for users' action. For example, RUI can indicate the number of times you purchased item I on the time you spend on the web page I. In our TV, dude, my pocket. In RTV, God, I wanna read my paper. In RTV recommender case, RUI indicates how many times you fully watched show. How many? So we don't have ratios. For example, RUI is okay. We have 0.7, 70% of it indicates that you watch 70% of the show. But what if he watches the first 10 minutes 100 times and not the rest? Well, for a user that watched the show twice, we will set RUI as 2. Alright, so it's not well defined, but I get it. Let's not be asshole and let's the paper go ahead. Move forward. And so let's assume it is well defined. Explicit ratings are typically unknown for the vast majority of the user item pairs because they don't leave. And because a lot of users like, I watched this item, I know that I like it or not. For the items that I haven't watched, which on Netflix, for example, or Spotify, for sure they are more. It means that we don't have any explicit rating. Even for the ones that I watch, I may not leave a rating. But okay, for the ones that I didn't watch, actually don't have a good implicit rating too. The same reason. Yeah, but like whenever I buy something from Amazon, I don't go and leave a rating. That's true. So for sure we have more implicit data than explicit. Hence, applicable algorithms work with the relatively few known ratings while ignoring the missing ones. However, with implicit feedback, it would be natural to assign values to all RUI variables. If no action was observed, RUI is set to 0, thus meaning in our example, 0 watching time or 0 purchases on record. Perfect. Headache cannot stop me, guys. Headache cannot stop me. Oh, I just want to sleep for half an hour. Well, finish this shit and then we will go. Dude, this is a paper, by the way. A paper should not be more than 10 pages. How many pages is this? You don't publish a paper in 40 pages. 10 pages. That's it. I want to publish a paper in 10 pages. Guys, I'm tired, honestly. We published paper in 50 pages. Oh my god, I can't believe I did this. This paper is 10 pages. That's far better. I wish I could split my paper into 5 papers, each one of them 10 pages. Yes, actually, that's what I should do. I publish my paper. If it is 50, I should show it. It's like seasons. If you watch this one, you will watch the next one. Anyways, that's good news. We can have papers in 10 pages and they can be useful papers. Actually, whatever paper is over 15 pages, nobody reads it. Oh my god. Okay. 10 pages, that's the paper I want to read. That's the kind of paper I want to read and I want to write. However, with implicit feedback, it would be natural to assign values to all RUI variables. If no action was observed or UI is set to 0, thus 0 purchase on record. Perfect. So in this case, Amazon and Spotify are quite the same. Previous work, what is the difference? The product in Spotify or a platform like YouTube that you watch something is that you don't buy it, right? I don't know, okay. Well, YouTube is free, Spotify is subscription based, but even then it's like, or YouTube has subscription. It's not that I pay for one video, it's never like that. Because it's like something you want to listen again and again. But on Amazon, every time you do a purchase, because it's a physical good, and the other one is just it's not a physical good. It's not also data, like raw data. It's something that has a meaning. So it's something in between. It's not just gathering of data. When you listen to music, you gain utility by itself. Okay, yeah. So the thing about data is that in my previous works is that data by itself has no value. The value comes when you use, when I say raw data or data, you use that data for a decision-making process. While on YouTube or music, you listen to music for entertainment purpose. Like, a lot of it is for entertainment. So a lot of just the act of listening to music brings you utility. So in that sense, it may be closer to the physical good. But still, it is copyable, it's replicable, and you don't pay every time you listen to it. You cannot overuse it, like, oh, Spotify doesn't say, oh, you listen to this music 10,000 times, so you need to pay more, you know?
Values would be ratings that indicate the preference by user U of item I, where high values mean stronger preference. For implicit feedback data sets, those values would indicate observations for user actions. For example, 3.1 neighborhood models. The most common approach to CF is based on neighborhood models. Its original form, which was shared by virtually all earlier CF systems, is user-oriented. See 9 for a good analysis. Such user-oriented methods estimate unknown ratings based on recorded ratings of like-minded users. Later, an analogous item-oriented approach 1319 became popular. In those methods, a rating is estimated using known ratings made by the same user on similar items. Better scalability and improved accuracy make the item-oriented approach more favorable in many cases too.
So neighbor, we say that we have products that are similar to this one, user had interaction with them, and we want to kind of estimate the rating for this one based on the user's interaction with the similar product.
20. In addition, item-oriented methods are more amenable to explaining the reasoning behind predictions. This is because users are familiar with items previously preferred by them, but usually do not know those allegedly like-minded users. Central to most item-oriented approaches is a similarity measure between items, where SIG denotes the similarity of I and J frequently. It is based on the Pearson correlation coefficient.
Pearson correlation.
Our goal is to predict RUI, the unobserved value by user U for item I. Using the similarity measure, central to most item-oriented approaches is...
Okay, so neighborhood method, right, models. SIJ, not symmetric, similarity, right? Similarity. Damn, this is such a good paper. 10 pages. Dude, 10 pages paper. I can publish 10 pages paper forever.
The similarity measure between items, where SIG denotes the similarity of I and J
Posture,
frequently, it is based on the Pearson correlation coefficient. Our goal is to predict RUI, the unobserved value by user U for item I. Using the similarity measure, we identify the K items.
Okay. So we have Sij, which is similarity between I and J, and we wanna compute our UI, right? I can guess what is the next step here, right? So we have Sij that tells how I and J are similar. Our question is RUI, right? But we have RUJ, so these two tells us what's going to happen here.
Rated by U, which are most similar to I. This set.
Our goal is to predict RUI, the unobserved value by user U for item I. Using similarity measures, we identify the K items rated by U, which are most similar to I. So between all the items we have, we choose J's, right? We choose J, for example, in 1 to n, such that Sij is in, I don't know, max K. I don't know what is max K. Means the K biggest. Max K of SIL, and so we have this K, J1 to JK, and we have, we should have RUJ1 too, such that RUL exists, right? We should have exist. And then we say we have RUJ1 and RUJK, and he says I am JK. Then what is the formula? RUI estimate, RUI hat is probably, I don't know, sigma SIJL L1 to K RUJL over sigma L1 to K SIJL. I say something similar to this. Makes sense. Where are you? Okay.
Of K neighbors is denoted by SKIU. The
SKIU.
predicted value of RUI is taken as a weighted average of the ratings.
So K items that are already rated and most similar to I. So we say this set S K I U. So what is SKIU? It's about user user U, item I, and it is all the items that K rated items by user U who have the most similarity with item I. Perfect.
For neighboring items, PJ set membership symbol SKIU. The predicted value of RUI is taken as a weighted average of the ratings for neighboring items. PJ set membership symbol SKIU. SIG RUI equals PJ set membership symbol SKIU. SIG 1. Some enhancements of this scheme are well practiced for explicit feedback, such as correcting for biases caused by varying mean ratings of different users and items. Those modifications are less relevant to implicit feedback data sets, where instead of having ratings which are all on the same scale, we use frequencies in which items are consumed by the same user. Frequencies for disparate users might have very different
So
scale.
frequency means how often they are used, right? And R is, for example, 2 or 0.7, we had it.
Depending on the application, and it is less clear how to calculate similarities. A good discussion on how to use an item-oriented approach with implicit feedback is given by Deshpande and Kara P6. All item-oriented models share a disadvantage in regards to implicit feedback. They do not provide the flexibility to make a distinction between user preferences and the confidence we might have in those preferences. 3.2 Latent factor
I
models.
say, if a rating for a product, implicit one, if it is below 1, the odds are, yeah, maybe he watched some part of it and he didn't like it, or he watched it and he liked it but he couldn't finish. But once your R is above 1, it's a good indicator that you are watching it second time, you probably like it. But also, if it is your R is above 10, you probably don't want to watch it anymore. So if it is music, well, you like the music, you play it again and again. But it's a movie, you don't want to watch a movie for more than 100 times. I watched Departed for the 3rd time. What a movie, guys. What a movie.
Latent factor models comprise an alternative approach to collaborative filtering with the more holistic goal to uncover latent features that explain observed ratings. Examples include PLSA 11, Neural Network 16, and Latent Dirichlet Allocation 5. We will focus on models that are induced by singular value decomposition, SVD, of the user item.
What the fuck? Latent factor models. So there are parameters that it's not obvious, but we can I don't know, do some matrix decomposition, find those values, and those are the values that really matter. Is that it? So it's an alternative approach to collaborative filtering. It's not collaborative filtering, with the more holistic goal to uncover latent features that explain observed ratings. Examples include PLSA, neural networks, and neural networks. Holistic goal to uncover latent features. PLSA, what is PLSA? Probabilistic latent semantic analysis. All right. And neural networks, we know about it now. And latent Dirichlet allocation. Okay guys, now I have to go and come back in a second. Let me pause.
Observations matrix. Recently, SVD models have gained popularity, thanks to their attractive accuracy and scalability. See example 3, 7, 15, 17, 20. A typical model associates each user U with a user factors vector SU set membership symbol RF, and each item I with an item factors vector Y set membership symbol RF. The prediction is done by taking
a typical model associates each user U with a user factors vector X user factor vector. This is for SVD. So we have u, which is in RF, and it's called user factor vector sector. Okay, user factors vector, and each item, what is the size of f? Each item I with an item factors vector yi, and it will be an inner product. Fuck game theory. I just want to have a paper that is simple. Okay. Item factors vector yi in RF. XU is user factor vector. yi is item factor vector. And RUI hat will be XU transpose yi. So that's it. So the assumption with the latent variable is that we have these latent vectors XU and yi, that the estimate will be the product of this. What does it mean? It means that if you have a matrix, all of the XU's, gather all of them in a row matrix, X1 to XU, right? Not this one. Okay. It means that if you have x1, xu like this, and if we have y1 for item, yi, so it's transpose, right? And this is for items, this is for users, so xty will be r, right? R hat, RUI hat. So it assumes that there is a decomposition of R hat matrix. The more involved part is parameter estimation, like R hat. Many of the recent works applied to explicit feedback datasets suggested modeling directly only the observed ratings. Okay, while avoiding overfitting through an adequate regularized model. What does that? What is a regularized model? Such as minimum x star, y star, RUI is known. Only for the ones that RUI is known, they left the rating explicit. For implicit, it also works, right? We know that only for the for implicit, everybody has. Well, maybe only for the ones that RUI is greater than 0. And then you maximize kind of combination of mean square error and the sum of the norms of XU and Y. Hence, lambda is used for regularization. Okay, so when he said regularized, it means that in the objective we add this term to regularize the size of the vectors. Adequate regularized model. Parameters are often learned by stochastic gradient descent, which is another subject. The results are reported on the largest available dataset. Oh, we have a Netflix dataset. Look at these papers. They work on datasets. I like that. In this section, we describe our model for implicit feedback. Okay, so the RUI thing was for the explicit, but why can't we use the same for implicit? In this section, we describe our model for implicit feedback. First, we need to formalize the notion of confidence. In implicit, it was confidence. In explicit, it was preference. And to this end, let us introduce a set of binary variables, PUI, which indicates the preference of user. Okay, we have preference too. So R is for confidence, P is for preference. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we want to find out if the customer, or not customer, consumer is interested. At the end of the day, we want to find the consumer's preference. And we want to find a way that, but what we have already is the confidence or RUI. Is there a relation between RUI or PUI? We talked about it already. So if RUI is, I don't like that. For me, if it is like Netflix video streaming thing, I say if RUI is greater than 1 or 1/2. Maybe you watch 10% of a show and then you say, I don't like it. So RUI 0. Actually, I can't say if PUI is 0, but good assumption. RUI like 0.1, PUI should be 0 actually. Not all the cases, but I think that is more common. Okay, that's a good function to work with, because at the end of the day, by the way, notice, these are papers, these are theoretical, these are good starting points. Once you are an engineer, data scientist, you are working, you need to make something work. Well, this function doesn't work. These are just examples for us to practice. If a user U consumed item I, then we have an indication. What if we use, for example, ln or log? It would be better, right? Or something that converges to one. Anyways, just because we have two products, RUI RU1 and RUI and RUJ. RUI is 0.1 and RUJ is 2. Well, J is more favorite, more to the taste of the user I. In other words, if a user U consumed item I, and we have an indicator. But it's good. Dude, this paper is so nice. This paper is saying that you don't need to consider all of the functions. They just keep it simple. Motherfuckers, we published a paper and we assume Gaussian distribution. Then they say, oh, why didn't you assume the whole space of distribution? Not your business, dumb fuck, computer scientist or economist, whoever the fuck you are. On the other hand, if you know, that's the paper. And that's a paper that works, that people cite. And it is written by people who are in the business. Look, AT&T, Yahoo, AT&T. Bunch of mental masturbators wants to stop us from improving science. What's the time? Okay. Let's finish this part. That's a pretty big part, and then we finish. We take a break, we come back. By the way, look at the sentences. All are easy. Econ is just bullshit. Fuck off. Coordination of equilibrium. In other words, if a user U consumed item I or UI greater than 0, then we have an indication that U likes I. On the other hand, if you never consumed I, we believe no preference, PUI 0. However, our beliefs are associated with greatly varying confidence levels. What do you mean? Our beliefs are associated with greatly varying. Yeah, R can be any positive number, right? And it's just, our belief is just which one. However, our beliefs are associated with first by the nature of the data. 0 values of PUI are associated with low confidence. Not low, but it's just 0 confidence. As not taking any positive action on an item, can stem from many other reasons beyond not liking. Yeah, we didn't have time to watch it. Well, I may like it if I watch it, but that's very true. For example, the user might be unaware of the existence of the item. That is very true, by the way. That is the whole thing about recommender system, because recommender system bring some, it was all about the papers we studied. Consumers do not have time to go through all the list, right? And recommender system, well, that's the product's problem, that they need to buy a sponsorship to be at the top of the list. Because if you, for example, in Amazon, if you're on the second page, the odds of you being selling is very low. So recommender system, it's a list at the end of the day. Top of the food chain will win the game. The rest, nothing, pretty much. Very right, okay. For example, the user might be unaware of the existence of the item or unable to consume it. Well, that's why at the beginning, every platform, it was on the Google's case too. Well, they wanted to find out if the platform has a good click-through rate, but at the beginning, platform or recommender system needs to give a chance by exploring. If you haven't been shown enough, it doesn't mean that you are not like it. So at the beginning that a product is out, well, you want to have a good product, but there is one other side that, okay, the product should be seen, the platform should show it to other people, to the consumers. So that's actually, I think they say it's a cold start boost or whatever they have. Due to limited availability. In addition, consuming, okay, you should read because my mouth is going dry.
An inner product, i.e., addition, consuming an item can also be the result of factors different from preferring it. For example, a user may watch a TV show just because she is staying on the channel of the previously watched show. Or a consumer may buy an item as gift for someone else, despite not liking the item for himself. Thus, we will have different confidence levels also among items that are indicated to be preferred by the user.
Exactly.
In general, as ROI grows, we have a stronger indication that the user indeed likes the item. Consequently, we introduce a set of variables, CUI, which measure our confidence in observing PUI. A plausible choice for CUI would be CUI equals 1 plus ROI. This way,
y 1 plus n. So CUI is kind of another confidence measure. What is that name? Okay, CUI is 1 plus alpha RUI. What is the difference? They are just linear function of a fine function of each other.
We have some minimal confidence in PUI for every user item pair, but as we observe more evidence for positive preference, our confidence in PUI equals 1 increases accordingly. The rate of increase is controlled by the constant alpha. In our experiments, setting alpha equals 40 was found to
doesn't work. Okay. So if R is positive, CUI is I don't get what is the difference. They are so simple function of each other. This way we have some minimal confidence in PUI for every user item pair. Okay. But as we observe more evidence for positive preference, our confidence in PUI 1 increases accordingly. The rate of increase controlled by the constant alpha. In our experiment, setting alpha 40 was found. Look, they had an experiment. That's such a beautiful paper. That's such a lovely paper. The paper is actually journaling what they did. Okay, they had some ideas, they had some thoughts, but it's also a report of what they did with their data. That is beautiful. It's not the whole thing. For my previous cases, paper was everything.
This way, we have some minimal confidence in PUI for every user item pair, but as we observe more evidence for positive preference, our confidence in PUI equals 1 increases accordingly. The rate of increase is controlled by the constant alpha. In our experiments, setting alpha equals 40 was found to produce good results. Our goal is to
And
find
nobody
a
can
vector
question
set
that,
membership
bitch.
symbol.
Like if a referee asks, oh, why you chose alpha 40? Because it worked. Fuck you.
RF for each user U. Our goal is to find a vector SU set membership symbol RF for each user U, and a vector Y set membership symbol RF for each item I that will factor user preferences. In other words,
So we want to
preferences
find the
are assumed
latent.
to be the inner products, PUI equals X2 Y. These vectors will...
But I thought R should be the product. R hat should be. Okay, now he wants to PUI be the product. User factor, and that's the same name, item factor.
be known as the user factors and the item factors, respectively. Essentially, the vectors strive to map users and items into a common latent factor space where they can be directly compared.
RF.
This is similar to matrix factorization techniques, which are popular for explicit feedback data, with two important distinctions. 1. We need to account for the varying confidence levels. 2. Optimization should account for all possible U/I pairs, rather than only those corresponding to observed data.
Okay.
Accordingly, factors are computed by minimizing the following cost function.
So what are the differences with explicit? Well, R or C is varying for sure. So what? In the explicit we didn't have the varying. Optimization should account for all possible UI pairs rather than only those. Well, because every user has something for every item. All right. Cost function CUI. Why this combination? Well, the regularization part is the lambda part, but I don't get the CUI times. It is confidence times PUI and close. Oh, you can't see it properly, right? Oh, you can see it half-as. Damn, when is it going to finish? I'm tired. I am not tired. I'm not tired. When we finish this section. The term is necessary for regularization the model such that it will not overfit the training data. So regularization in general, good to know. Regularization is good for avoiding overfitting. Exact values of the parameter lambda is the data dependent and determined by cross-validation. Notice that the cost function contains m times n terms where m is the number of users, n is the number of items. For typical data sets, mn, oh yes, because it is for any pair, can easily reach a few billion. Ooh. This huge number of items, yes, this huge number of items prevents most direct optimization techniques such as stochastic gradient descent. Like, how many videos are on YouTube? That's a good question. Dude, even for one user, you have 14 billion. Oh my god. Now we should multiply 8 billion by 14 billion videos on YouTube according to a paper by researcher at the University of Amherst. The researcher used the oh, this one says 800 million videos. At least, okay. May possibly more. Every minute, January 22, 2022. 500 hours a minute. Wow. Which equates to approximate 30,000 hours of newly uploaded content per hour. What? 500 hours every minute, approximately 30,000 hours. 30,000 hours. Oh, per hour. Okay. So we have per hour, that one would be times 60, right? 60 times. Well, dude, are you dumb fuck? Why do you say approximately? Okay, 500 hours per minute is equal to 30,000 hours per hour. Okay, and so we have 500 30,000 hours per hour upload. We have 8 billion, 8 times 10 to the 9, right? 14 billion. Oh, okay. Forget that 14 billion. How many users YouTube have? Where is the rest of the chat?
As of January 2024.
Fuck off. How could I chat with it? What is this? 2.5 billion users, active users. Wow. Dude, this is terrifying. Half of the worldwide user. Interesting. Baby shark dance? What is this YouTube video? Wow, 13 billion plus one YouTube. $14 billion views. That 14 billions, and it was 7 years ago. Wow, it has 75 million subscribers. It's for kids. Okay. So we have 30,000 per hour, 30,000 hour per hour users. What does it mean? Okay, why did I grab these numbers? Where do they store these videos? I don't know. Where do they just store these videos? The size of hard disk drive they have at Google. Okay, yeah, I forgot why we got these numbers, but we will be reminded right away. Notice that oh my god, I talked too much today. We will go for 1 column and a half and we are good to go. The lambda x u y I term is irregular. MN. Oh, okay, MN, that's exactly it. So M was the number of users on YouTube, it's like 2.5 billion, and N is, oh my god, 30,000 hour per. If you say 30,000 item per, how many videos? Like per hour we have 1,000 billion videos, like RUI to compute. Are we going to do that? No. Even the guy who said like what was that? Somebody computed it in a random stochastic way. So we don't exactly know how many videos we have on YouTube. The number of videos on YouTube is a big number, where M is the number of users, N is the number of items for typical dataset, MN can easily reach a few billion. This huge number of terms prevents most direct, fuck off! I'm getting distracted. can easily reach a few billion. Not a few billion, dude, thousands of billions. For YouTube, millions of billions, to be honest. Yeah, it's at 14 billion videos in total. Shit, dude. This huge number, billions of billions. It's like 10 to the 18. Wow. Terms prevent most direct optimization techniques such as stochastic gradient descent, which was widely used for explicit feedback datasets. Thus, we suggest an alternative efficient optimization process as follows. Observe that, that's a real problem they have. They cannot use this, like, explicit data may be rare, implicit data is too much. Observe that when either the user factors xu or the item factors yi are fixed, the cost function becomes quadratic. That's actually nice. That's a very simplifying assumption by its own, that you can, to any item, like, people have preference over items, and you're saying that there is this variable about any item and there is this vector about any person, that the utility or amount of interest in each product by each user is just this simple multiplication. While in general it should be like, yeah, we have a m by n matrix, but we are saying that we can simplify this whole big M by n to m plus n times f. Number of variables. That's a very simplifying assumption by itself. So instead of having billion by billion, data to work with, we only work with billions of data. And to be honest, now I get it. If a platform like YouTube says, fuck it, dude, I don't want to compute all of this shit. Let's get the top 10 and just let's preach them. You know? That's it. That is big numbers to work with. They have no other option. That means, like, even if it is not the good product, even if it is taste of the consumer, right? You have taste of consumer, we have the product, quality, all of these bullshits, put them aside. It's a big number to work with for the platform itself. So platform requires a simple algorithm to work with. At the end of the day, it wants to keep it simple. Observe that when either the user factors xu or item factors yi's are fixed. What do you mean are fixed? They are fixed. The cost function becomes quadratic, so quadratic of what? PUI? PUI is a function of CUI. That is vague still for me, just I don't get it. PUI is a function of CUI. The cost function becomes quadratic. That's the beauty of, that's the beauty actually. You know, this problem by itself could be very complicated, right? Also, all of these assumptions, you know, if you watch the machine learning videos, is that we have so many options to work with. Like this number, there are so many All of these assumptions, the beauty is that we have these assumptions, like having latent variables, like having this linear structure. We add these assumptions, and these assumptions make our problem much more simpler. And then we find a solution, and that solution is good enough. That's all about it. Or in the machine learning world, it was the same, that we had this the space of all nonlinear function, and we said fuck that. Let's just focus on combination of arctangents with linear functions. That's it. We will add layers, and this space is nothing comparable to the space of all nonlinear functions, but it's still a very good space. It's good enough to do our job.
Observe that when either the user factors or the item factors are fixed, the cost function becomes quadratic, so its global minimum can be readily computed. This leads to an alternating least squares optimization process, where
alternating least square optimization process.
We alternate between recomputing user factors and item factors, and each step is guaranteed to lower the value of the cost function. Alternating least squares was used for explicit feedback datasets too, where unknown values were treated as missing, leading to a sparse objective function. The implicit feedback setup requires a different strategy to overcome the dense cost function and to integrate the confidence levels. We address these by exploiting the structure of the variables so that this process can be implemented to be highly scalable. The first step is recomputing all user factors. Let us assume that all item factors are gathered within an n times f matrix Y. Before looping through all users, we compute the f times f matrix YTY in time O, f2n. For each user U, let us define the diagonal n times n matrix CU where queth equals QE, and also the vector P, U, set membership symbol Rn that contains all the preferences by U.
What is it? What is it saying? Okay. Where should we do the product of y times y? The first step is recomputing all user factors. User factor is xu, right? Xu. And we call it x is the matrix x1, xu. And we have y, which is for items, yi. That's it. So n times f. Yes, y is n times f. No, it should be f times n. So matrix y, they are assuming that, no. So they're putting y's in row y1, yi, yn. We have n rows and f. That's why. And before looping through all users, we compute the f times f matrix yty. So what is yty? Is ij will be yi transpose y oh okay, I don't know what it will be. So yty ij will be yt k from 1 to n ytik ykj ytik will be yki ykj yk, well ytik will be yki, ykj will be ykj, right? So will be k1 to n. Perfecto. But what it means? Nothing. I don't know what it means. For each user, you let us define the diagonal matrix C and CU. So we had CU, where CIIU is CUI, confidence CUI, and also vector PU in Rn. U was in, yes, PU in Rn is PU, and I think PU of I will be PUI, right? By differentiation, we find an analytic expression for XU that minimizes the cost function 3. Okay, okay. Oh my god. Let me see, when was the last time I had it? I should get back to Diego. It's been 2 weeks almost. XU by differentiation, we analyze. So that equation 3 over there has a minimizer XU, and we also need to find Y. XU is YT CU Y. So these are just computations. We can just skip lambda I minus 1 YT CU PU, right? YTCUY plus lambda I. So some knowledge of linear algebra, matrix, working with matrices is necessary here. Shout out to mathematicians. PU. The computational bottleneck here is computing YTCUY, whose naive calculation will require time OF squared n for each of the M users. Alright. Significant speed up is achieved by using the fact that YTCUY is this now is independent of U for each Y. Yeah, Y to Y is independent and was already computed, and the other part is diagonal. So as for this term, notice that it has only NU non-zero elements. Oh, okay, for the rest, because R is 0, CIU is 0. NU is RUI greater than 0. And typically, NU is far less than N. Yes, because as we said, how many videos we have on YouTube? Billions. How many videos? I have watched, that's good actually. Have I watched more than not for sure, not more than 1 million. How many videos a normal person watches on YouTube? But if it is like Netflix, no way, this is the first video.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really long trunks, and that's cool.
That's cool, really.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
It's the name of the zoo, me at the zoo. Wow, he has 4.7. The most offensive. Who is this guy? So it has only 7.3 million views.
This is why I stopped.
What happened? Oh, this is only okay. 23 million views. This is the first video, and this channel has 4.75 million subscribers. Oh my god. And the views are increasing? How is it? April 2005. This is so cool. What is this playlist?
Good evening. I'm Mark Sneer, head of the Department of Computer Science here, and it's my pleasure to welcome people for a second time. And I'm glad to see so many people here. The talk is also simulcast in our seminar room, 2405. So if you people get a tired set,
Internet entrepreneur. Where is he now? Has been viewed over 310 million times. Wow, he's 44 years now. Oh, he has Instagram. Oh, I cannot. Fuck. Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, he has only 30. Dude. Oh my god. This photo is amazing. Fuck. Okay. Interesting. So now the multiplications are much less because yeah, one person cannot watch all of the videos. Let's see. I think what percentage of the videos on YouTube are watched by a normal person?
Most studies suggest that a small percentage, according to some estimates, about 10% of the videos get more than 80% of the views. This is due to the popularity of certain content and the recommendations driven by YouTube's algorithm, which tends to promote videos that are already gaining traction. Mm-hmm. Would you like more detailed statistics or specific studies on this topic?
Well, bitch, if you could. Most studies suggest that a small percent of videos on YouTube get the majority of it. 10% of the videos get more than 80% of the views. This is due to popularity of certain and recommendations driven by YouTube algorithms. Traction, not attraction. How many videos does a normal user watch on YouTube, and how many videos do we have on YouTube?
On average, a YouTube user watches about 30 minutes of videos per day, which could translate to around 5 to 10 videos daily, depending on the length of each video. As for the total number of videos on YouTube, estimates suggest that there are over 500 hours of video uploaded every minute. This means YouTube hosts billions of videos, though the exact number fluctuates as new content is added and old content is removed. Would you like to explore more about user habits or specific types of content?
How does YouTube keep all these videos? How does it? What is YouTube's strategy or policy for removing old videos?
YouTube stores its vast library of videos in data centers around the world. These data centers use advanced storage technologies, including distributed storage systems and redundancy, to ensure that videos are reliably accessible and protected against data loss. Regarding removal policies, YouTube has several guidelines and strategies. 1. Content violations. Videos that violate YouTube's community guidelines, such as those containing hate speech, harassment, or explicit content, are removed. 2. Copyright infringement. Videos that infringe on copyright laws can be taken down through the Content ID system or via user reports. 3. Inactive or low quality content. Occasionally, YouTube may remove videos that are low quality, spammy, or from inactive accounts, especially if they don't attract views or engagement. 4. User requested deletions. Users can delete their own videos at any time. YouTube also periodically updates its policies to adapt to new challenges and maintain a safe and engaging platform for its users. Would you like more details on any specific aspect?
Dude, that is so fun. Like, YouTube is more important than a country, to be honest. Like, managing YouTube, we should have a voting system. Okay, so that's it. NU is far smaller, drastically, terrifying smaller, and is terrifyingly bigger than NU. Similarly, CUPU. What is CU? Oh, CU was the, okay. Contains just NU non-zero elements. Consequently, reputation of XU is performed in time or F squared NU plus F3. Damn. Limitations. F squared NU plus F3. Here we assume OF3 time for the matrix inversion. This, even though more efficient algorithms exist, but probably are less relevant for typically small values of F, this step is performed. What if we hit these limitations and YouTube tells me you cannot upload video? That will be so fucking sad. Okay. Let's act from a place of abundance and upload video as much as we can. Hopefully YouTube will find a way to keep them. Actually, this is fucking funny. If you're just okay by keeping your videos, well, you have the option to keep the videos private too. Like, it is a best option for you have a free memory like Google Drive. It's personal, but you can use your YouTube, keep your videos there, and just make them private. It's the best, like all of your videos are there. Is it the same for photos too? Maybe, who knows? And they are giving it to us for free. Start now, guys. This is my new tattoo. By differentiation we find an analytic. This is this. Now y to y independent. Consequently, reputation of XU is performed in time O F squared NU plus F3. Okay, so F, I don't know, it's a fixed size, like feature space. F is for features. NU is a small, so in total it's So each XU, but we have a lot of XUs, MXUs. Here we assume OF3 time for the matrix inversion, even though more efficient algorithms exist, but probably are less relevant for the typically small values of f. Dude, honestly, YouTube is like a masterpiece. It's such an engineering masterpiece, right? It is. It's crazy. Like YouTube, Google, Amazon. Oh, well, I think YouTube is more. Or Instagram. Fuck, they are crazy. Or cellular system. Wow, engineering is so cool, but it's so big. Okay, here we assumed OF3 time. Like, yeah, software engineering probably. Well, a lot of other things too. But they are so distributed and they are so everywhere that we forget that they exist. They're around us. We just, oh, okay, it's an app. But fucking how many videos, how many users, and they are managing it and they're showing all of this stuff to us. That's crazy. For matrix inversion, even though more efficient, shout out to everybody shout out to the elephants who are cool. Even though more efficient algorithms exist, but probably are less relevant for the typically small values of f. This step is performed, what did he say? But probably are less relevant for typically small values of f. This step is performed over each of the M users. What is the M users? So I think actually technologically we are good enough. Honestly, what do we need? Like we are inventing new things, but we are not already done with the things we have. Less relevant for typically small values of f. This step is performed over each of the M users. So the total running time is something like that. What is the N? The overall number of non-zero observation. Overall number of non-zero observation. So it's like N times M. Yeah, N mu over U, so it is N mu times F. And importantly, running time is linear in the size of the input, exactly. Typically, values of f lie between 20. Oh, that's so nice. Like 20, 200, see experimental studies in section 6. I'm curious. I cannot wait to see section 6. Actually, that's all the beauty. Like, they don't have strong theoretical results. That's so. This is not a mental masturbation. This is a mental sex. This is real work. That's beautiful. Recomputation. Oh my god. Okay. So they have these assumptions. They make a mathematical model and then they try it. That's nice. And it will be nice if much nicer, if the result of this work is used in practice. Well, I think it is used. Like, I got it from Diego, like all of these people. Oh, by the way, all of these people are working on platform. So I don't know about AT&T, but they are working. So like, they are using it. It's a good starting point. It gives people intuition. Studying section 6. A recomputation of the user factors is followed by a recomputation of all item factors in a parallel fashion. What? User factor. What is the user factor? It's XU. Is followed by a recomputation of all item factors. Why should we recompute user factors and YIs? in a parallel fashion, we arrange all, okay, we compute it. Why are we computing them, by the way? They are the solution to this minimization problem. Don't forget this, X and Y. Wow, dude, such a big system. YouTube is such a crazy system. Where are they located physically? Where are the YouTube data centers located physically?
YouTube's data centers are part of Google's global infrastructure. They are strategically located around the world. Data processing, storage, and delivery. Some of the known locations of Google's data centers include 1, United States, locations in Oregon, Iowa, Georgia, South Carolina, and Oklahoma. 2, Europe, data centers in Belgium, Finland, the Netherlands, and Ireland. 3, Asia, facilities in Taiwan and Singapore. These data centers are designed to be highly efficient and environmentally friendly, utilizing renewable energy sources and advanced cooling techniques. This global distribution helps YouTube ensure fast, reliable access to videos for users everywhere. Would you like to know more about any specific data center or how they operate?
How do they look like? Oh, we have the locations. Damn, this is... So, nothing in Boston. South Carolina have data center. Boston doesn't have. Wow, that's actually cool. Ah! Shit. This looks like a oil company. Who do they hire? Shoot, dude, look at this. This is like a company. It's like electrical. Oh, they're the people. Oh, okay. But what did they study? Keep the Google data center online. Dude, this is the guy, Derek. Trained to fix all issues promptly and efficiently. What is it? Satisfied with a job well done. Dude, this is so cool. Aisha, data center facilities specialist, bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. Oh, like chemical engineering. Maintenance industry. Mother of 4 beautiful children. Mario, data center technician. Football. Mechanical engineer, data center technician, hardware, table tennis at work. This is so cool. Damn, see more. So they're not like data scientists, right? They're data center technician. They have a podcast. Yes, I like to see that. Okay, let me... I want to see the photo of a data center.
Look at that sky.
It has just gotten so light so quickly. I've heard barred owls out here when we've been netting for bats, and they have a very distinct call, and you can usually call them in, like, and you can call them and they'll respond.
We have lost 99% of grasslands across the southeastern United States. Just imagine Great Smoky Mountains, 150 species.
Are they farmers?
But I'm actually sitting in the east. Now that just shines a light on the potential for other corporations to do the same. So you start adding this 25,000
Coming to the job site.
Oh, that's it. That's the
concept. And all of a sudden you have this archipelago
key roles,
so then you have
high-level roles. And our goal is to be the first black
for employees and those approved by C.D. Moody Construction.
My name is...
Coming into the job site safety rules, make sure we have our hard hats on at all times. Access to the site is restricted for employees and those
This
approved
is
by C.D. Moody
fucking
Construction.
crazy.
My name is Charles David Moody Jr. I am the founder and I'm the president of C.D. Moody Construction Company. C.D. Moody Construction Company is a general contractor. We started in 1988, and we've done some incredible projects. Olympic Stadium, Turner Field, Mercedes-Benz, Ray Charles Performing Arts Center at Morehouse, Women of Level roles of Google. See anybody of color doing it. I grew up in the 60s in Chicago. I didn't see anybody who looked like me who was a contractor.
Dude, is it like civil engineering?
16, I met my first black architect. That's when I said, okay, that's what I want to do. After I finished Morehouse, I went to Howard and got my degree in architecture. I took a field assignment on a nuclear power plant. And the noise, the action, I said, okay, I don't want to sit and draw all day.
It's like
So I took my knowledge of architecture into construction. I started my career in nuclear power. I got married in 82. We moved to Atlanta, and the company I came to work for went bankrupt 2 months after I came to Atlanta. I don't have a job, and my wife hadn't finished school, but my dad had incorporated a company, just in case one of us wanted a business. I said, you know what? I'm incorporating C.D. Moody Construction Company. I had never been president of a company, but I had worked in small companies, so I knew I could do this. This was my very first project. We had to work at 8 at night to 4:30 in the morning, and my wife would try and keep the kids quiet so I could sleep during the day, then go to work
it's just
at
a
night.
very
Fast
big
forward,
artist,
1991,
right?
I won Entrepreneur
Oh
of the
my
Year. I was the first
God.
African
Oh, they are
American
like
to
colored
win
like
that
Google.
award from the Atlanta Business Chronicle and the Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. 1992, my business is 4 years old. We're doing really well. My wife finds out someone close to her had been sexually abused, and I just blurted it out. Did it happen to me?
What is happening,
I
bro?
had been triggered. 4 months later, I had a complete nervous breakdown, but I couldn't
Oh,
tell
from
anyone. I
trauma
had
to
suffer in
triumph.
silence. And that's
I
my
see.
idea of it. I try not.
Dude, okay. I have never seen it. Okay, because there is nobody in Massachusetts who does that. There are jobs that we don't know. I'm a data center. Like, I'm a data scientist. It's a very common job, but I'm a data center technician. That's a funny job. Okay. We didn't finish, guys. Let's not get distracted. Okay. Importantly, running time is linear in the size of input. First, we compute the f times f, xtf, x, yty. What about that? For e. Oh, okay. So, okay. That's how the algorithm works. I think they assume an x, then they find a y for it. They find a y, they compute another x for it, and they recompute y, recompute x, recompute y, recompute y, x, and then alternate, and then up to a point it converges. That's beautiful. Like, life is super nice to us, to be honest. That these methods, based on simplifying assumptions of work, it could have been differently. It just, life is super nice. Dude, it's super nice that we can have YouTube. Fuck, this is so big. So Some people cannot eat food. We have YouTube. A computation of the user factors. We arrange all user factors within an m times f matrix. What is an m times f matrix? M is the number of the users. First, we compute the f times f matrix xtx. We compute the f times f matrix. Because I was at Clubhouse, they used Google BigQuery to save their data. Is it the same? Like, I think only Google has these fucking platforms, because if you're a smaller platform, like a startup, you cannot have a data center like Google has, right? Or what about Spotify? Spotify data center. Spotify case study. It's again Google Cloud. Focus, focus, focus. And once maybe you got big enough, you can build. Oh, data platform. Oh, they are making their own data platform. That's so nice, interesting. Yeah, once your platform gets big enough, it's better for you to have your own platform, right? Or your storage center. But at the beginning, you want to buy it from Google or Amazon. Wow, these are such a different aspects of these companies that I think, like, who deals with them at MIT? I don't know. Because as we usually see them, like, it is through our interaction with app. But even a data scientist in the company doesn't interact with this stuff, usually. Well, their level of interaction is just these assumptions that we don't want to have a huge amount of computations, right? But I don't think they go and visit on site. For each item I, we define the diagonal m times m matrix Ci, where Ci UU, Ci U. Then we solve for that's Yi, which is item factors. Factors, right? Using the same techniques as with the user factor, running time of this step would be this. We employ a few sweeps of paired computation of user and item factors till they stabilize. A typical number of sweeps is 10. After 10 reputation, we get to a good point. Wow, interesting, beautiful. This is a nice paper. This paper is nice because it is just a report of what I told it already. My paper, I built the problem myself. I solved it itself. And that's nice, to be honest, but I don't want to do another one similar. Enough with those. The whole process scales linearly with the size of the data. So this paper is not everything. That will be nice if they give us access to the what happened actually. And they're not proving anything. It's just a very experimental, very nice. Well, they had an algorithm. They don't say that how good algorithm. Well, probably say later, but they don't prove anything. This is the best algorithm. To work with or something. Oh my god, that was crazy. I wanna buy a data center. The whole process scales linearly with the size of the data. After computing the user and item factors, we recommend to user U the k available items with the largest value of. Oh, okay. All of it was about recommendations. So we wanted to estimate the preference of a user and then say, okay, this, and we had k items that were close to item I. We wanted to choose the biggest one and probably get the one with the largest preference and give it to the, recommend it to the user. Now that the basic description of our technique is completed, we would like to further discuss it. Go ahead.
Now that the basic description of our technique is completed, we would like to further discuss it, as some of our decisions can be modified. For example, one can derive PUI differently from RUI.
I love it. He says, okay, we did it for one simple example, we can modify it. That's nice, I like it.
By setting a minimum threshold on RUI for the corresponding PUI to be non-zero. Similarly, there are many ways to transform RUI into a confidence level CUI. One alternative method that also worked well to us is setting CUI equals 1 plus alpha log, 1 plus RUI/O. 6. Regardless of the exact variant of the scheme, it is important to realize its main properties, which address the unique characteristics of implicit feedback. 1. Transferring the raw observations, RUI, into.
So, okay, now we have some knowledge on how a recommender system may work, right? And to be honest, now I'm getting more and more confident that we should not care about how the algorithm, ranking algorithm actually works. We want to just have simple model and give some suggestions to the firms on their marketing strategies. I think in the future all of us will work for Google.
2 separate magnitudes with distinct interpretations, preferences, PUI, and confidence levels, CUI. This better reflects the nature of the data and is essential to improving prediction accuracy, as shown in the experimental study, Sector 6. 2. An algorithm that addresses all possible, NM, user item combinations in a linear regardless of the exact variant of the scheme. It is important to realize its main properties, which address the unique characteristics of implicit feedback.
Okay, this
1.
is
Transferring the raw observations.
These are the more important thing. The details are not important because they changed them, by the way. So you need to have an intuition about how they work. That's what really matters. Raw observation into two separate magnitudes. What is that? Oh yeah, that's X and Y.
Transferring the raw observations, RUI, into two separate magnitudes with distinct interpretations, preferences, PUI, and confidence levels, CUI. This better reflects the nature of the data and is essential to improving prediction accuracy, as shown in the experimental study, Sector 6. 2. An algorithm that addresses all possible, NM, user item combinations in a linear running time, by exploiting the algebraic structure of the variables. 5. Explaining recommendations.
An algorithm that addresses all possible n times m user. Linear running time matters, right? To be honest, maybe then an algorithm that does the thing in linear time compared to an inefficient algorithm, the size of that data center may reduce by half. That's so good. Okay. Section 5. We will have a break and we will come back. Well, wait a second, how much time? Ooh, 2 hours and a half, that was too long. So, okay, let's finish it by some counter. Not very long though. Damn, this was good though. Yeah, you know, once in a while I like to change what I am studying. I got tired of the previous subject. It's still close, but now I am exploring new areas and you get to know, just learning about new stuff is so exciting. Anyways, yeah, it's not just that we learn one thing and it's done. We are here to learn. Did you see that data center in Atlanta? We want to learn all of it. So how much time? I always say 15 minutes, but I will go for the third round too. Damn. Ah, I killed. Dude, I'm so slow. This fucking snipe is just for dying. Where are you guys? I'm a sniper here. Killed you. Who cares? I got out of my sniper. Who is shooting you? Where are you? I killed. Alright guys, I cannot go alone, these are a bit... Let's go together. I like this. I like it. Ah, he had the... Bitch, I killed you. Oh, I get back to my... Oh, okay, I don't get it. Bitch, where are you? Show up. Oh. Oh, fuck, dude, I'm dead. Thanks that it was... Dude, they have knife here, they have knife here, they have knife here, guys. Ryan. Oh, who? Dude. Killed me 10,000 times. So sure. I should not go out alone anymore. Finished. Let's go, brother. We're together. Oh, we killed both of us. That was so unfair. Dude, I can never die with machine gun with 2 bullets. That's stupid. That doesn't sound right. Why can't they stop? Let's go there, brother. What about that, bitch? I'm not going to hide. Here. I killed. Haha. I'm coming for you. Stay, Gucci. Dude, they jump like. Oh, I killed both of them. This motherfucker is so good. Haha, I'm better. No, 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 no. What the fuck? Okay, okay, brother, I'm with you, I'm with you. Where are we shooting at? What about that, huh, bitch? Woo-hoo-hoo! The only way is killing. I will stand here. Ooh, I killed, and I'm... Bitches, I'm gonna kill all of you. Ooh. Oh, they have knife? Where are they? Bro, look. Oh, what? Uh-huh, let's go, buddy. I'm backing you, bro. Okay, that was a good job. Teamwork. Dude, I like it more, to be honest. Listen. Oh. Fuck. That's a real war. Shit, yeah. Guys, let's go. Cover and move. Oh shoot, there are also so many. Nobody can go alone. Here. See, that's what happens when you go alone. Brothers, let's go together. Oh shit. Dude, you cannot go alone in this game. Here we will kill you. Who knife? Shit. Oh, they're all leaving. Don't do that, guys. That was a good game. Why are you leaving? Ah. need to move the camera. Perfect. Users. Ha ha ha. Where? Ah! Bot killed me. What about that? Oh. Bitch. Damn, bot killed me with my own gun. Dude! Okay, bitch. But, fuck, that's... Where are they? Bitch. Hahaha. Asshole. This gun is bullshit. I'm not gonna sit here and yeah, let's go together, right? Yeah. Dude. Where is he? Where are they shooting from? Ooh. Where is he hitting me from? This is just fun. Oh, I killed one. No. This Doom Tony is legit. Who has the gun? Don't kill us, don't kill us! Don't kill me, don't kill me. Okay, thank God. Dude. What if they knife me? Dude, I cannot kill anyone. Hello? No problem. Okay guys, that was enough.
Just a little bit.
Oh, okay. No, I'm finishing. 2 hours and 48 minutes. I think it was the longest video.